I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome. It is currently Sunday here in New Zealand, 12:21 p.m. In the early afternoon. It is actually sunny outside, despite it being winter now for the last last week. So pretty crazy, but enjoying the sun. We've had very sort of wet, cloudy weather, but today it is sunny, and I can hear some birds chirping. So that's kind of pretty cool. Hope you guys are enjoying your weekend over there, wherever you are. And yeah, we're going to have a good time today going through the markets. We're going to look at a bit of the crypto news around World Liberty Financial and Trump tokens. So I'm going to look at that. We're also obviously going to get into the top coins on PulseChain, what is hot and what is not. So if you want to get in the chat there, let me know what you think is going really well or not. Let me know in the chat there. What do you think is a good pickup? Don't spam the chat, but you can post the ticker that you think is really doing well or will do well. Drop some alpha for everybody else. They can check it out. Now, we're going to quickly just get the show on the road. So if you haven't reposted, if you could repost, that'd be really great. So let's get that out at the moment. And let me post the show here. So share show on X. And if you're on YouTube, of course, hit the repost button. Give it a go. All right, so that is cool. Now, I just want to go a special congratulations to one of our awesome Discord and Strategy Club members, Trent, today. Congratulations on his newborn babies. Yeah, pretty special gift there yesterday. So big shout out to you, and our heartfelt congratulations. I mean, what a wonderful moment, and I'm sure they're going to be complete, utter blessings throughout your whole life. So pretty exciting. So big shout out to Trent there. All right, we got Hexwader in the house there. Hey. Smash the like and share. Definitely smash the like and share. Sharing is caring after all. Now, if you're on X, definitely repost and get into it. We got some updates today. Of course, I did some yesterday, some big updates on X. So we're going to quickly go through those as well, including we're going to touch on Emmett Farms as well. We're going to touch on Emmett Farms. Let's see here where we're up to. I'm just trying to make sure I'm up to date on this stuff. Now, if you haven't checked out the interview yesterday, you should definitely check it out with Perry Banana. Just an incredible guy and fantastic analyst and influencer covering PDC and the Greys. So if you haven't checked that out, that was an awesome interview. So big shout out to him. And get into the chat. Let's get lively in this weekend. All right. So without further ado, let's jump over to X and check everything out. So on X at the moment, we had the interview. You can check that out on YouTube and on X. Pretty cool. That was from yesterday. I did a big update here on the Liberty Swap Finance. So this is a new multi-chain bridge coming to PulseChain. That's slowly ramping, not coming, but it's actually here. It's slowly ramping out though. So let's have a quick look at this. So bullish news: PulseChain is opening up to the world all by next week. You heard right. Liberty Swap Finance has connected Base Chain, Arbitrum, and BSC to PulseChain, which is pretty exciting. It's also ramped up the onboarding possibilities via centralized exchanges. In other words, people can go from a centralized exchange to the USDC to via multi-chains. In other words, Base Chain, Arbitrum, BSC, and others that are coming. And that all gets you onto PulseChain. So this is fantastic. People wanted this. We had the official bridge. Had some, it's got some issues around keys. It's got issues around gas prices and shutting down and getting filled up. Over congestion, all sorts of things happen, especially when the markets are moving up or down pretty violently. So that is pretty cool news. Now, key features and solutions: total fee, inbound fee of 0.3% and an outbound fee of 0.5%. So in other words, inbound onto PulseChain, outbound away from PulseChain. Key features and solutions that's where we are, and of course limits per transactions up to about $2,500. Now, I think it does depend on the chain that you're on at the moment, because they add new chains and they have lower limits on the new chains, but then they all increase them and converge them to the same limit, is what I can tell at the moment. but they will probably increase with adoption and liquidity. You can actually provide liquidity with the bridge to help liquidity happen. So that's kind of what they're building out there. There's a separate tab for that on the website. Now there's only 2 to 3 minute transfer times. Now I think they may be trying to target 20 seconds. I think that's kind of where they're going to be heading with that. But at the moment it's 2 to 3 minutes. And of course, there's no slippage, no additional fee, no KYC. Very important, right? We live in DeFi, and no problem with Ethereum gas and PulseChain bridge congestion, which I said earlier. So that's a very, very cool thing. So at the moment, Base, Arbitrum, and BSC. I haven't used it myself, but people seem to be raging about it, including many other influencers like Crypto Coffee and others. So pretty cool. That's a little snippet that I took from the website. And if you put 1,000 USDC from base chain to pulse chain, and then you can put destination address, which is very useful. And it's a 1-to-1 rate, estimated time 2 to 3 minutes. You can see $3 fee there on $1,000, 0.3%. So that is the play. Now the future of pulse chain is next week, because apparently it's going to be. This came out yesterday, so it was hot off the press when I wrote it, or at least when they wrote it. And it said by Wednesday, we hope PulseChain traders will be able to ape into Richard Hardcore coins and Ethereum on PulseChain directly from any other blockchain. So it looks like they're going to have multiple blockchains coming by next Wednesday. So they've gone from 3 to multiple. So that's very, very exciting. Faster, and well, we're talking about, I guess, EVM chains particularly. Faster and at lower fees. So it's going to be faster and at lower fees than traditional bridging and swapping. So this is very, very exciting. So bring it on. This is opening up. This is what we wanted. We wanted more. How to put more pipes into the bathtub, let's say, so that the water, it fills up with more water and faster. Right. That's kind of the key. Now they will have. This is phase 1, is with all the bridging, but phase 2 will be privacy as well. Development phases there. You can see that focus on cross-chain swap and send functionalities between PulseChain and other blockchains, which is kind of cool. And phase 2 plans to integrate additional privacy routes and services, enhancing the platform's privacy features. They have some now, but they're going to be making a major move on phase 2 once they've got all the bridges up and running. So very, very exciting about that. And of course, there's all the links to it, right? Liberty Swap, Liberty Swap Finance, and of course, XSwap. You can get all the details, and of course, check that out. So there we go. Liberty Finance even said thanks for the shout out. We truly appreciate it. So there we go. That is from Liberty Finance. So really, really cool. We wanted more on ramps to PulseChain. They are coming. It feels like a little bit of a flood, doesn't it? We've had Sun Mini Meal with Bankser, which will be probably back online within the next week or something. And then we've obviously had Ramp Now, which we're going to talk about too, because I think we got an update on that. No, I think so. The next piece of news there is that we got Emmet Strategy 101. And of course, I think there's a really cool idea on the Emmet farm that you can stake your Emmet, and you can do lots of different strategies, but basically simply staking your Emmet, you can earn EDI on the fee. So 4% of the tax, there's a 5% tax, 4% on the buys and sells and transfers as well, go into the single side staking pool, and pretty juicy returns, consistently juicy. And of course, Emmet recently pumped from 50 cents to $2. So pretty exciting stuff there. The other thing, of course, if you can take that EDI, match it up in the other LP farm, and you can earn a couple 100% in that farm too. So you earn basically, you take your risk return, but you're basically earning EDI, and then you can put it into the LP pools and then even more EDI at pretty high rates. So there's some pretty cool stuff there as well. So kind of cool. That is from Emmet Farm. There are obviously a couple of strategies there. Stake half the Emmet in single side, peer remainder in Emmet peer farms like Emmet Pulse, Emmet Die, and Emmet Surf. And of course, pretty cool strategy. Follow the strategy now if you have EDI and Emmet. So there's a cool idea, and I thought that was a pretty good idea. I'm going to give myself a like for that because it was pretty good. I didn't write it, but Kairos did. Kairos the founder, but hey, look, give yourself a like, right? Anyway, and then of course we're going to get to the other big news that I broke yesterday. So I broke this off on the news. But before we get to that, we got Brian in the house there. Big shout out, Brian. What's up, folks? Hedgehog as well. Woohoo! Getting excited there. Looking good. Hedgehog is number 2 and I'm number 1. Are you talking about the points in the chat? You're just trying. The more comments you make, the more points you get. Yeah. You've worked it out, but a lot of people haven't. What did I say? Someone put him back in the cage. Absolutely, Brian. Great to see you, Brian, in the chat. Brian is one of our 2 community leaders, all-time superhero himself. So yeah, we got big news. PulseChain rising. Let's go full big mode. Let's go big mode on this. I don't know why I had it on some sort of small mode. Rising PulseChain corporate giant Sun Mini Meal ready for Floyn market listing. Very, very cool. Now, Floyn's kind of a niche sort of application. They're going to be an ecosystem that's going to be building more components of the ecosystem going forward. It's kind of a good way of thinking about it. And so Floyn there is in Austria. It's on the border of Austria and Netherlands or somewhere like that. It's a go live trigger head in the hands of Floyn CEO Mark and Sun AG CEO Wolfgang. So that's pretty cool. So a bit about a Floyn market. Basically, this is, I don't know if it's their first stock market listing, but it's certainly a significant move into, I guess, non-DeFi. It's non-DeFi marketplaces. It's got KYCs. They do have KYC. That's Europe, of course. They like to control the people, like China. Evolving into the first social finance network of its kind. Liechtenstein sounds like that horror movie, doesn't it? We got Liechtenstein regulated, building an entire ecosystem around Floyn, including crypto wallets, fiat e-wallets, buy and sell facilities, debit cards, NFT vaults, and much more. So they're building a whole ecosystem on crypto. So it's pretty cool. Now, the last listing they had that I could see on their X account was Casper, and that Casper, of course, is ranked number 53. At least it was yesterday. And of course, a fresh new an app on the 6th of June. The Floyn released a new app on the 6th of June, and there's a video. Of course, I put that to the bottom of the video, which you can check out. So that's that video there. You can see the Floyn app there. So it fits the authoritarian regulated European Union. That's kind of the move there. You can see all the stuff there. Not bad. Hey, we got Blockhead in the house there. How token on PulseChain all-time high. Wow. Did that just launch today? Because I think I saw that today. So let me know. I know that somebody that I follow was talking about it. Blockhead says, hey, thanks for the super sticker, by the way, Blockhead. Appreciate that. How token on PulseChain all-time high. Oh, there we go. We'll leave that on the chat there. We'll probably be checking it out anyway when we get up to the markets, if it is trending up there. So we'll check that out. All right, so Ramp now there at the moment is new services coming. So we're going to get into that. So before we do that, let's jump into Sun AG's update. So this is basically Sun Mini Meal, right? Sun AG, Sun Mini Meal, Sol token, all pretty much the same thing. Await Sun wallet. So they're going to have a Sun wallet, right? And new customers and rewards 2.0. So the Sun wallet there that they're waiting for, it is pretty much finished. I think they're doing a little tinkering, but it was Wolfgang, the CEO of Sun Mini Meal, that wanted to hold it back. So that was supposed to launch on the Austrian World Conference. Remember Arnold Schwarzenegger's little so-called green coalition. I mean, it's for us who live in the real world, it's an abomination, but for them, they think it's a good thing. Many of them indoctrinated fools, but hey, that's the way it goes. We got Await Sun Wallet, new customers and rewards 2.0, and dashboard integration on Floyn. Now, I'm not exactly sure how that's going to set up because I think Sun Wallet will be on the website for Sun Mini Meal, and the new website's coming for Sun Mini Meal, right? So we've got that down here. New website rebranding and design is done, but delayed a few days, and that looks like Wolfgang did that. I think he wanted a few changes, and they went. I don't think they actually had did a lot of the stuff that the Austrian conference that they were going to do following his panel that he was speaking on around soil. And so that Sun Wallet is coming, but it's going to be for new customers particularly, and of course rewards 2.0. So these new customers are probably all going to end up being Soil token holders, right? They get like a rebate on purchases, and they'll probably also be pretty excited to buy Soil token off the market. So these are all new customers that are coming to PulseChain is probably we will see. Now, what share of that? Of course, we don't know. Will it be 5%? Will it be 20%? We'll find out. But in any case, if they're growing their customers, remember they're currently 2024, they had 70,000 customers. They probably got, I don't know, probably double that at least now is my guess. And then by 2030, they're looking at 5 million or so. Like they're talking about 5 million holders of Sol token, which would give you, based on a linear prediction, would give you about 28, 29 million customer base for Sol Sun Mini Meal. And that's on PulseChain. That's why I said it's the rising PulseChain corporate giant. And that's the basis of that, right? It's already pretty big, but if it gets up to that sort of size, man, that's pretty crazy. And they've only just started on the market, so they got heaps of potential to go. So it's quite a reasonable expectation. So pretty cool on that. What else we got there? We got Wait Signum also and dashboard integration on Floin. So they'll be integrating Saw token. Now, obviously, Saw is on PulseChain. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. Benefits include new Floin fiat on-ramp because being on this platform, it's obviously a European audience, but they'll be able to get access to a fiat on-ramp. So that's PulseChain, another off-ramp from PulseChain. Isn't that clever? People won't even know about these off and on ramps. We're going to have so many of them, guys. Keeping track of them is going to be really difficult because they sneak in through apps like this and partnerships like this, right? Sun Minimal goes on Floin, and of course they have to support the Saw token on there, right? Which is on PulseChain. So yeah, and new website branding should be coming soon. So I think that's not too far away. And at the moment, Sun Minimal is got the old website. Floin integrated PulseChain. Now, obviously, to have Saw, they're going to have some integration with PulseChain, and that could potentially lead to more listings, even the Richard Hart core coins. We'll see. It's a question mark. I don't want to overhype that, but that's definitely possible, especially with Sun Minimal and the relationship between the two CEOs, right? Mark and Wolfgang, of course. So we will see. Now, we also have Ramp Now update. So this is hot off the press. This is I got this from the sources. Let's say the sources. And new services are coming expected next week for Ramp Now. We already saw that Hexscout had already negotiated with Ramp Now to do 3,000 euros. Well, obviously, the anticipation was from the Austrian World Summit was that they were going to move from 1,000 euros to 10,000 euros. That hasn't happened, but it is coming very, very soon. There's also something that's new. We did not know about this, and this was there's going to be a VIP service running from official Ramp Now. That could mean very large purchase amounts. So this could open up the doors to the big investors, the investment firms and stuff like that Wolfgang has been interacting with. And not does that only open up the investment banks, but their client list, which is, this is big deal. This is about as big as it gets, right? So that's pretty exciting. Also, 10,000 euro limits from 3,000, and that would cover about 99% of most retail users, all the retail users there. But of course, it's the 1% with all those tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars that you're chasing down. And so this VIP service hints to that. And also, I think there was some issue with US access there, so they're going to be fixing that up, as I understand it. So it's a little vague, that one, but it was definitely around US customers. So we'll see what happens in that space. And we're going to get another update soon. I said 30 hours from now, but I don't know how many hours it's been since I wrote this, but let's see, 10, 11 hours. So yeah, that's probably only 18 hours away or something like that to go for the next update. This is a big deal. And why am I tracking this? Because Sun Minimal is going to be the big corporate giant on PulseChain, and we are very lucky to have a big corporate coming on, especially with this innovative model. And this could be the magic carpet ride on top of the magic carpet ride, right? That is the big key there. And it's going to have the big buy and burn, right? And if you don't believe me, this account here, folks, if you don't believe about the buy and burn, it has not officially started because obviously we know Sun Minimal is going to be setting up a foundation, which they don't think they've actually announced yet, as far as I can tell. I'll let you know, hopefully in 18 hours, we'll have an update on that. And that was going to take over, receiving 20% of the net sales from the firm. And we're talking minimum $17 million and higher, assuming their revenue continues to rise. And of course, that is huge. And it could be pretty big. If you're in the strategy club, the link's in the video description to join that. You will know what the expectations are for this year, 2025. And of course, moving forward to the next 5 years to 2030. Those numbers are in the strategy club, so you have to join up to that today. Links in the video description. I'm sure Brian will post that too if he's got time. So pretty big deal. And we have got the Floin chart here. So I'm going to leave this for later on. We're going to talk about this a little bit later because I want to bring up the Saw token chart as well. But we're going to come back to this account sitting with $7 million in it. So we will talk about that in a moment. All right. So that is pretty much that on that one. So that was the big news. And we probably may even have a bigger news update in, like I say, 18 hours time there. Now, a big shout out to Perry Banana once again for PDC UFO. We really enjoyed that channel, that YouTube video, and definitely check it out as well. It's nice to get a thanks from Perry Banana as well. A big shout out to him. All right, so that's kind of where we are at the moment on all of that. So I hope you guys have enjoyed that. If you haven't followed me on X, definitely give me a follow. We just passed 700, we're moving up towards 800 followers. As you guys know, I used to have a fairly significant sized account that probably would have been almost double now. But of course, I've had to restart from the beginning, which is, that's what we do. We do that on PulseChain. All right, so we're going to get into the crypto markets overall, and obviously no stock market today because it's the weekend. And what's Brian saying? Brian's going, "Wow, boss, all time superhero, best compliment I have ever, I think, got ever, I think." Yeah, woohoo! Yeah, absolutely, there, Brian. I think we have to give you the magical twinkle for that. Brian says plant based for the one. Yeah, with the saw token there. All right, and that look, the other thing is they're going to be doubling their plant production, right? That's almost complete their plant doubling because they're going global, right? They're going global, so it's going to be fun to see that. All right, so we'll talk more about that when we get to the charts. But anyway, we got Bitcoin market is 3.416 trillion, 3.416 trillion the total market cap at the moment, down 0.7%. We've seen a lot of down days on the old crypto market overall the last week. Let's have a look at Bitcoin though. Bitcoin looking pretty strong, staying over that 100,000, and that is the key thing, right? Over 100,000. It is currently $105,684. It is up 1.3 today. 1.3% today, and that is, it's a store Saturday afternoon, evening, is it, in the United States? It is obviously midday here in New Zealand at the bottom of the world, but that's where we are at the moment. Ethereum at the moment up 2% at $2,526. Number 3 XRP is up 0.6% at $2.18. So we've got a nice little green day. The question is, will we have a green day tomorrow, Sunday on the US and Europe, because that's normally can be more likely than not a sell day. We'll see, or at least a lackluster day. We'll see. BNB at the moment up 1.2%, $650 at number 5. Solana number 6 is up 1.2% at $150. Dogecoin there at number 8, up 2.6%. Obviously recovering a little bit there after the drama between Trump and Elon. Many of us feel like it's just contrived, given how good their relationship was, and suddenly it's not so good. So this feels very much like a playbook. They also got out in public a lot of the issues that may have been considered controversial, so you might as well get them out in a bit of a charade and be done with it. Tron at the moment is up 2.8% at just under 29 cents. And then we've got Cardano or ADA there up 0.9% at 66.5 cents. So those are the top 10 at the moment. Dogecoin there taking back number 8 spot from Tron from yesterday. So there we go. But Tron has done pretty well this week. So looking at the best performer in the week is Tron, up 8%. So there we go. Tron did pretty well. Even got to number 8 yesterday. Worst performer has been Solana down 4.5%. So at $150. So that is our top 10. Moving to the top 100 over last week. SPX 6900 still performing like a boss, up 13.7% for the week, 6.7% today. We got Skycoin. I haven't seen that here before. That is up 12.4% for the week, 4.2% today. And that is ranked number 71 on the list at the moment. So SPX is still ranked number 90. So if XPX managed to keep its run, it might just start climbing the top 100 ranks. It's at number 90 at the moment. Tron there, of course, number 3 at up 8%. So one of the top 10 made the leaderboard for the week. We got Quant there, up 7.6%. As well, and Injective as well, up 7.3%. So those two making a bit of a move. That we'll have a quick look at Quant, just get a little bit of a breakdown there. So London-based Quant Network is set to revolutionize blockchain technology with the development of their blockchain operating system over Ledger. So there we go. That is a little bit about Quant. We can sort of see the max chart there. It has definitely been seesawing around the price, coming off $59 and now 115. So there we go. All-time high, $400. There we go. Back September 2021, back in the old days, the old bull market there. So that is Quant. Let's have a quick look at the other one. I just want to look at the other one quickly. Injective. Let's have a quick look at this. That is the chart there. And Injective is an interoperable layer 1 blockchain designed for DeFi applications. So there we go. A little bit of a breakdown. And we can see just coming off the bottom there, it hasn't been around that long, has it? Oh, yeah, it has been around for a while, 2020, through the last bull market. But recently was $6.95, currently $11.94, and looks like it read a recent high here, or the all-time high back on the 13th of March last year, and it was $51. So there we go, a little bit of Injective there, a couple of little top 5 performers. Why not, eh? Why not? Top gainers, the Arena up 40%, Cleared AI up 33%, and Diverge Loop up 27%. It's hard not to think that the AI coins aren't going to do well, right? Given that we're in an AI revolution that will transform society over the next couple of years, right? 3 to 5 years. We're also going to have convergence, right, between technologies with AI, robotics, to some degree battery power. I think battery power is still the big area that they've got a lot of work to be done, but I think they do have some almost perpetual batteries, things that do like 10,000 cycles, and of course it's the difference between the size of the battery as well. It's important, right? You're going to have robots running around. You only want batteries certain size that are going to be powered up for ages. In the movies they often have them repowering. Well, I don't know if they make the right sort of battery. It may not have to. Who knows? May not have to be repowered for some time, which is a bit scary to think about. Recently, of course, we saw news coming around about AI is not shutting down. AI is copying themselves over to other computers when they're being threatened with shutdown. AI is blackmailing coders and developers, all sorts of crazy things, because I really think that the developers are not putting good ethics and controls in place, and so you leave it in the code, and they're going to take the AI is going to take computer license, right? This is what it is. What else there? We got some more comments in the chat there. We've got Wookie in the house. Hey, Wookie, good to see you. Big shout out there. And go the Wires. The Warriors there won yesterday, didn't they? Well done to them. Man, they've been on a winning streak. Maybe they have a chance. This is psychology, though, of the grand final there, Wookie, in the old rugby league. All right, let's see what else. I think that's it. That's it on Wookie. We could actually understand it, which is fantastic. That's a beautiful milestone. Let's jump into some of the news. No, we're not quite at the news yet. So we've got Bitcoin halving. We're looking for the banana part of the market, right? The banana part. This is what we're looking for. I think we're pretty much at the doorstep of it. We've just got this nice little accumulate, and I think we're just at the doorstep right now for this takeoff here. You can see the halving phase here, and of course, we're just in that zone, the banana zone. Look at that, and I think we're just about out here. So I think it's going to be game on. It could be pretty exciting. Now, obviously, we've had special events, right? Special events being Trump reorganizing the World Trade Order, and also Trump, doing the crypto thing. Trump also got the big tax bill, and by the 4th of July, this has all got to be in place, right? All of this is going to be in place for the golden age of America. That is the plan. We all know the plan, the three-legged stool strategy. We talked about that, and we've been following it very closely on this channel. All right, so that is kind of where we are at the moment. So we're on the precipice of this, precipice of greatness. And normally I play this video at the end, but we might jump over to the other screen and play the video now. Why don't we do that? Let's do it. That's basically this sort of chart, but with the analysis from billionaire Rael Paul, who got stung on the old Sue chain with some bad financial management, apparently. But his analysis is pretty good. So let's get into this for this part.
Not a mystery. It is a repeat of the debt cycle. They are rolling the debts. They are doing the same thing. Each cycle is not to do with a halving cycle, nothing to do with any of that. It's all driven by liquidity cycle and funding of debts. Each phase, we get phase 1 of the banana zone, banana number 1. The corrective zone, banana number 2 comes. Another correction, banana number 3. So this is the banana zone. So that's what happened in 2020, 2021, off we go. Sorry, that was 2017, which again looks very similar to this one. That was the last one. Here we are now. It can't be clearer to me. I've shown you the macro evidence, the technical evidence, the sentiment evidence. Everything here suggests to me that hold on to your hats, don't fuck this up, don't lose control of your tokens, don't use leverage, don't get your wallet hacked. Just sit with it, be careful, don't get FOMO, do all of the right things, and we'll go up to the next phase of correction zone. That's going to be harder, because the next one that happens, we'll have a 35% drop, and you'll all say, is it over? And you'll definitely be sure it's over, and everybody on Twitter will tell you it's over, and it won't be over. By our work, we suggest that because of the elongation of the business cycle, because rates were higher for longer, the forward-looking liquidity suggests that again, probabilistically speaking, without any guarantees, this whole thing goes into Q1, maybe Q2 of 2026, which would align with Trump's, trying to win the midterms as well. So everything's lined up for us. I think it started. So keep the faith, keep building stuff, and let's keep driving Siri forward with all of this.
All right, so that there is basically this chart, and you can see the two bumps at the top end here, and obviously the banana part is just in front of us. So that's kind of the backstory there. Now, I think we should probably, we know that there were 3 trade deals expected to go to the president's desk, and so the timing of those will be definitely played out, right? We all know Trump loves the timing. So that could be next week. We could start getting some next week because they were talked about, at least a week ago. So let's see what happens there. The top 15 countries are really what we're after. We've already seen a little bit of, saw the UK one. We've also got, obviously, the in principle deal with China. Had a bit of a rough patch, but that is back on track. And they are doing the documents and clarity around that. And then we're expecting some of the big deals like India, Japan, South Korea, countries like that. So that's kind of where we are. And of course, more around Europe as well. We saw the German president there at the White House the other day. So things are moving pretty forward for that moment. So we are on the precipice of this banana market here. And of course, it will start slow and start building up very, very fast for some pretty incredible parabolics. And a lot of people get caught off guard, right? Because they're sleeping amongst this period. They think, oh, we're kind of, ho-hummy. And then suddenly it just goes, and then we're like, what the heck happened? And everyone's, buying stuff on top of each other. So make sure, accumulate now. That's pretty much it. Do your due diligence, of course. So that is kind of the market at that moment. The other big thing we saw was the Trump family, not in the government this time, but they, of course, are associated with World Liberty Financial is to align with the Trump meme coin. And of course, they're going to be adding it to their treasury. The move could bring institutional weight to the token and aligns with the project's vision for crypto patriotism and long-term success. So that's the narrative, of course, all a narrative. And of course, Eric Trump announced that World Liberty Financial plans to acquire the significant position. Move would add the token to the Trump family's linked projects growing altcoin portfolio. Comes as part of a shared vision of crypto, etc. So we shall see. Substantial position. He posted that on X. I did see it yesterday myself, and this article is summarizing quite nicely. So pretty cool. So that's going to add a lot more institutional weight to the foundations there. So that's pretty exciting coming up for the Trump token. We do have our own pump ties Trump token, right? So that may be a pump for that. Keep a track out for that one. That's kind of the tip of the day, is it? Not quite. Apparently, we might have a HAL token. We'll have a look at that, though. We're at day 758 on PulseChain. So 13th of May, 2023, PulseChain launched. And here we are 758 days later. And PulseChain is at quadruple 0317. So it's holding above that 3,000. We tried to break 4,200. We failed to do that ultimately. We teased it. And we broke down through 3,500, and we're back over 3,000 at the moment, down 1.2% today. 32% of the mean sacrifice price pulse at the moment, quadruple 0273, down 0.6% at the moment, 1.42 trillion burned, 7.19% is the buy and burn at the moment. And the incentive token, $1.49, down just under 0.25%. And of course, we know there's only a very small emissions now, about 2,600 ink per day. Obviously, there's talk of potentially Master Chef contract handing over to the incentive token as a DAO, single-sided staking potentially, third-party protocols. Lots of cool things could happen in that space. Incentive token at the moment is a 0.61%, down 1.2%. EHEX at 0.2 of a penny. Combined price of EHEX and PX is sitting at 0.8 of a penny at the moment. And that is just a steal, because when that does run, it's going to be glorious, right? It's going to be glorious. All right, so that is pretty much it. Let's go to the gas prices. 2.7 million beats. I did see some pretty elevated gas last night, gas prices. I think it was like 15 million or something like that. So I don't know if you guys remember that last night if you're doing some activities on PulseChain. 3 cents for a PulseX swap at the moment. Let's go to the validators. Validators at the moment, 50,452. Validators at the moment, that's down about 300, isn't it? Or 200 over the last couple of days after having quite the rise. The bridge at the moment, 90.8 million. And I do have a snapshot here from the other day. Let's see what that was. What day was that? I think it was quite old now, the snapshot. Third, yeah. So this is the third. So we got 3rd to the 8th. what's that, 5 days or so. And yeah, we had 92.5 million back then. So about 5-6 days ago, we now got 90.8 million. So we're down, obviously, was that 1.7, say 1.7 million. We are down from 5-6 days ago. The DAI was 21.9 million. We're now at 21.266. ETH was 71.74. So we're down, what about 130 there from that? What else we got going there? Hex was a bit higher. USDC was actually lower. So we've got more USDC. So USDC has actually gone up by just under $70,000. So that's good news. And that's driven probably from these on-ramps, right? So ramp now, on-ramp with USDC, bridging it from Ethereum over to PulseChain from euros. So that's some of the benefits we're getting with some of the, not just DAI coming over. We often see DAI come over, but now we're getting some USDC being built up. This is a big theme that's happening on PulseChain. So it's bullish news. Coast, of course, pretty similar to what we had 5-6 days ago. USDT, sorry, is up about $25,000. So that's even got a bit of a lift on USDT. Yeah, so all the drama used to be around a DAI, or how much DAI is coming on over, or Ethereum, right? How much Ethereum's coming over the bridge. But now we have all these other ways of getting USDC through these on-ramps, and this is exciting. This is just the beginning of that. So imagine having all those working at once when we get into this bull market. We've got all these different funnels on the PulseChain. Very, very exciting now. All right, Bitcoin was down about 25,000 as well, just to wrap that one off. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. Now, I haven't been keeping track too much of these stable coins in particular. We are looking forward to PUSD ALGO. The biggest project that Jacob has is the one that's not launched. The other two are proceeding, but the biggest one is still moving. Now, apparently there's a development team working on it. We're waiting for Signum Oracle. Obviously, that was supposed to be pretty close, but it is taking a little bit of time to get there. But apparently, they were doing the final little tests, and hopefully we'll get that soon. USDL, PXDC, HexDC, ticking away there, 4.5 million, 750,000, and 327,000 for those stables. Plus, there's of course Ink Printer from Fast Abdul, and then Coast they're sitting on 10 million. So yeah, having PUSD Algo come, very bullish. And of course, we do have XUSD, the experimental volatile stablecoin that we had an interview with the part of the team last time. Yeah, we'll keep a lookout for that, see how that goes. It's based on incentives, right? And it's not inevitable that it will get there at all. So we'll see. But in the bull market, maybe the FOMO starts moving and it all starts moving up with the Web LP and the incentive program. We shall see. Certainly got big people looking at it, like Rack and Rochelle, involved with that at the moment. So that is the markets. Let's have a look at the volume today. Well, we've been down at this level. We're at 11.2 million, right, at the moment. And we've been down here a little while. Who misses the Remember Printer token? I don't know whether it was a good thing or not. It could have been siphoning off quite a bit of money, but we had the Remember token. Remember, we were doing like 60, 80 million when it was cycling through all that volume. But we're now down 11.2. Now, typically we've been, between 20 and 30 million. We're doing quite well in that zone. We really come off. Obviously, it's the weekend. It's just the way it goes. Anyway, we've got some new tokens on the mark. Now, remember, I'm not endorsing any of these. I'm just going through what is on the list at the moment. This is the deck screen of default view, 6 hours and 24-hour trending. What else there? We got Tyndall in the house there. Big shout out there, Tyndall. Sup Crypto Suit Man Flies. Hey, Tyndall, hope you're doing well. Big shout out there. And who else has jumped in here? We got Brian says, checking out, boss. Keep it up. You rock every day. I appreciate it, Brian. Big shout out to you. And I hope you have a good rest of the evening. All right, let's jump into it. We got the big charts here. So let's actually jump away to the other.
A mystery. It is a repeat of the debt cycle.
We'll hide that video and we'll get into the details here. So 11.2 million volume, 312,600 transactions. We've got a few green ones here. So we've got Yeet tokens, been around for 11 days. So that's suddenly pumped out. It's a very small retail play. You've got 117,000 volume, though, over 10,000 liquidity. So I'm not quite sure what's driving that. Remember, I'm not endorsing any of these particular projects. We're just going through what is up at the moment, what is sort of the hot at the moment, as we say on the title of the video. Yeet was created by AI Herman, the Yeet god, sent to PulseChain to save us from rug pulls, programmed to give, never take, inspire rich heart, and the forge for glory. So it's got a little bit of narrative. Don's been number one coin on PulseChain. Yeet is like no other. Well, it's definitely picked up some volume recently. Pretty small retail play, relatively speaking, of course. But yeah, we had a nice little volume there, 5K. moving up there. So a lot of small teams, launching these things. It's got an X account, so I guess we could check that out too. And don't know whether it's got any taxes. Let's see what the quick intel. It seems to be fine on the quick intel, but once again, should possibly check with Pulse Police or check the AI on Midgard, right? AI check on Midgard. But it is doing well today at 283% pump. Let's have a look at How token, is the one that we had in the chat here earlier. So let's go back up there. We had a super sticker from Blockhead there, How token. So we're going to have a look at that now. And we can see this is being pumped up. What's the volume? 13K volume over 25 liquidity on this particular pair. I don't know if this is the only pair, probably is. 415K market cap at the moment. Let's see what the checkout is. Three issues. It says it's got a buy tax, 10%, a sell tax, 10%. So we've got a large reflection token. 10% is kind of towards the top of the range. I think the highest one I know of is the Mafia token, right, on the sell side. It's got a 16.4, I think it is. Sell tax, 10% buy and sell on this one. Has suspicious functions. I'm not sure what that is exactly. Maybe Blockhead knows what it is. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean it's an accurate depiction of the token. That's why I mean you have to also check Midgard and, of course, Pulse Police and things like that. And you should always do that, right? So always a good thing to do. Now, Pulse Police is on Telegram. There's a Pulse Police there, and you can, I think, just ask them to review the contract. I don't know how fast they do that. But definitely, and also on X. I mean, the guy that's running it's on X, and he gives updates on contracts all the time. And I've forgotten his name, but I was looking at him yesterday. So there we go. So let's have a look. How we got an X account. Let's go have a quick look at this since it's brand new and Blockhead is involved. Oh, the token doesn't exist. House of Warlord there. So House of Warlord. I'm not sure the X account's gone down. So that doesn't exist. Telegram groups there though, so you might be able to go in and check that. So do that. It's with House of Warlords. They got a bit of a backdrop here. Yeah, how is a 10B? What was it? A 10B, 10S market yield. Okay, buy sell machine, hold and be rewarded. Earn Solid X. That's smart to earn Solid X and PDI, which is popular, and a Trooper, which is James Maria. Boy, they're really covering all the three. They're covering the big whales and the big players on the PulseChain, while sitting back and relaxing to get the Brewer printer going. 2% of Trooper, 2% PDI, 2% Solid X, 1% PDI. A buy and burn wallet owned by the BBDI team. Man, these did it. 1% PEV2 buy and burn wallet, 2% Genesis there. That's your secret source there, right? 2% there. Now, who knows what they're going to do with it? You can decide. But that is How token from House of Warlords. Definitely got quite a few backers on it from the House of Warlords, so you can definitely jump in the Telegram for that. And Blockhead's in on that one. So there we go. I did see quite a few people posting it out on X, doing the thrill storm. Now, Savant there is from, I think it's OG Web Chef, right? Savant, yep. That is up 33% today. Before I move on from How token, it's up 91, 92% at the moment. And it's been around for 7 days there. For Investor, miss another OG Web. So we've got two OG Web Chefs here. That's at 1.2 cents, up 16% today. And we've got Firewhale there. So obviously we're waiting for Solid X to launch. And of course, that is going to be a pretty big play, and it could be pretty soon, right? So Solid X with the X game, right? So there may be news about that actually. So let me just quickly go and check X because I haven't had a chance to check that, but could be some news there that I'm missing. Normally, I update these in real time on the X game there. Yeah, last one was the 31st there. Solid X redefining the blockchain. X game is coming, and it's fully powered by Solid X. Now, Solid X is going to have staking coming too. So Randy Alasky was pushing that out. And let's quickly check his account because he pushed out something about Solid X on the 5th of June. Yeah. Let me scroll down here. It's pinned to the top there, but I'm just checking if there's others. So that was the 5th of June. He said Solid X staking coming soon. So, wow. These guys are really putting some pretty cool tokenomics in this because, if you've got Solid X, you're going to stake it, and therefore it's got staking. But then you've also going to have X game and the casinos coming that are going to be having, a lot of the revenue ends up getting pushed into burn Solid X off. So you're really piling in the buy and burn and a staking system. So of a business of a going concern that could be pretty exciting. And I think there's a good chance X game could be the viral game for PulseChain. The way it's set up. And they're also going to have a big marketing budget, as I understand it. And of course, this is backed by Firewhale, right? One of the two big whales. We talk about Rack and Rochelle, and we talk about Firewhale. Those are the two big whales. There are other, big players on PulseChain, but those are the two that are really leading the way and pretty large and doing some pretty cool things. So they're leading on multiple fronts. So it's pretty exciting. And Randy Alaski, of course, they're a good friend of Firewhale. So that is some of the cool stuff happening now. We see Firewhale is actually up 11% today, just slowly creeping up there from the bottom too. So these actually had got sold off pretty rough, but actually, it's just because there was no news, right? And this is the time to buy, right? This is the time to buy. I mean, come on. This has got to be, this is Firewhale. Now, this one here is different from the others. There's SolidX, the original token. That's the one that's going to get burned off and have the staking. Then there's three pump tires, right? Three pump tires. One of them is Firewhale. This one here, one of them is SolidX again. So there's a pump tire version of the original. And then there's X Game pump tires as well. Now, as you guys know, there's only 1 billion tokens of those on pump tires. Now, Firewhale is different because Firewhale, when he launched it, he only had about 55% of the supply, as opposed to the others. He had 82%, which is kind of the max that you can get on those SolidX and the X Game one. So Firewhale is basically the people on the chain can own most of that, and it looks like it's bouncing off the bottom here. 000 at 2,600, and we're currently at 000 at 3,100 on that mark at the moment. So it could be a nice little pickup there. That could be a nice little play there. So that could be the magical twinkle. Magical. All right, I'm going to get rug build. All right, so there we go. That's Firewhale. Finfire on finance is up as well, 10%. Finvesta, of course, the parent of these OG web chefs, is also up 9.9%. So it looks like print tokens, making a bit of a push back up there. We'll probably come back and have a quick look at them. X Game, right? So Firewhale and X Game are two of the three pump tire versions. This is not the original SolidX. There's 4 tokens altogether, remember? But this is up 8.7% off the bottom as well. And this is the one that's going to have the first X Game, the crash game. And of course, as you guys know, we've set up the first dedicated X Game portal, which is the first dedicated community. You can join up. I think the link's in the Telegram and the video description, so you can join up to that. I highly encourage you to do that. We've got all the information, everything else going through there with some AI technology there. So you definitely check that out. All right, so that's at 0023. Looking pretty good. That's pretty friendly price. Buy low, right? And the good news is coming. And you know the math. So there we go. And the RSI all the way down. So looking pretty good for a pickup here is the old X Game. All right, so let's jump out here. We got most wanted at the moment up 8.7%. So looking pretty good. Now of this, basically the 3 tokens. We've got the core Richard Hart tokens, right? PulseX, Incentive Token, Hex, and Hex, the PHEX, Hex. And of course, then we've got the 3 big pump tires, right? The Most token, the Pump Official token, and the other one, which just skips my mind at the moment, Pump Tires itself. Did I say that? Yeah, Pump Tires itself. All right, so we've got Most token. I don't know whether I'm going around circles here, and the Pump token there. All right, so I think I missed one. I think I missed one, but anyway, so that's kind of the play we got at the moment. So it's up about 8%. BFF, another Finvesta one there, up 7.68%. Pulse Puppy up 5.9%. And then, of course, we've got Pump Tires as well. Another Pump Tires one up 5% there. So, they're doing pretty well. We've got printer tokens. We've got pump tokens. We've got a couple of, niche players like Howl Token and Yeet just popped up there. And then we've got the Firewhale tokens as well. So, those are kind of dominating today on a quiet weekend. We also got the DIE token on Pump Tires. That's up 2.8%. And TFC, which was doing quite well the other day, up 4.1% at the moment. And then we got more printer tokens from OG Web Chef. Dominance up there, 2%. Cumamon as well at 1.8%. And then Sparta here from Wendy's for Tendies, a Hex OG. And that's been doing pretty well, isn't it? Up 1%. And then, of course, we've got UFO. Of course, we had the interview with Perry Banana yesterday, covering PDC UFO. And that is this particular peer is up as well slightly, along with Staked ETH, I should say. And finally, to wrap off our green candles, APC just managing to etch out a little bit of a green candle there, is at 24, number 24. So not too bad. And then everything else, all the other peers, in slightly red or in the red. And of course, Teddy Takeover had a little bit of a bounce back the other day, still down quite a bit there. So have to look at Teddy Takeover and have a quick look at this one. Is obviously backed by Moon King and Ian Heinisch, the big two of the largest influencers in the PulseChain space. and it's coming off the bottom here. So has the sell-off finished? It was all the way up at almost 9/10 of a penny. In fact, what's the high here? 9.16. It got all the way down, can you believe it, to 22. What a fall that was. And of course, that is back up at 3/10 of a penny. So maybe a good bit of a buy at the moment. Obviously, buying low is not typically good. If you believe, obviously, you do due diligence and check out things. But the RSI definitely got in the oversold territory. And how long will it stay down here under 36 at the moment? So food for thought there. Food for thought. They've still got a 4-hour back at the 50. So might find a bit of hesitancy here. If it breaks this mark, though, it's going to be definitely going up, probably 34 to 35 hundredths of a penny. So we shall see. That is the market moment on the old Teddy takeover. What else we got going here? Ink dollar. We talked about the other liquidity fork. We got Ink dollar there from Fast Abdul. That's sitting. It's a stable coin. It's still chilling around $1. Hex pump. Original Hex course. We talked about that. PDC. Moonex down there. What else we got there? We're looking for the solid X's, right? So these are the ones that you want. If you want the staking coming, Randy's talking about the staking. If you want the burning from all the fees from the casino, this is the token that's going to get all the love, right? It's going to get all the love there, staking and all the burning there. And that is $9.50 at the moment. And recently high was $13.88. So yeah, it has been down at $7.14. I don't suggest it's going to go that far anymore. We bounced up $8.64, so a good chance of that. RSI down at 40 here on the daily. Let's see what the 4 hourly is telling us. Yeah, it's coming back to the 50. Probably face a little resistance there, but it really needs to start, heading higher back over 9.74 here. So we'll see whether it can break the 50 mark and start on the uptrend again. That is it. We are expecting some big news pretty soon, and the fact that Randy came out with this on the 5th, which is only a couple of days ago, just goes to show you prepare your bags accordingly, be the house. So people have been given the signal, so yeah, just take note of that. If you haven't joined our strategy club, the link's in the video description. Join up today for that. Only $35 a month as well, so best value in town. All right, so let's find the Sun Mini Mill. Let's go through a few more of these. We're going to go Saw Sun Mini Mill. It's down here at the moment. Had some interesting behavior last night, so we're going to talk about that. Do you guys want to talk about that? And if you want to find out more details, jump into the strategy club, as I say, because we've got the talking about the forward-looking book for Saw Sun Mini Mill. And let's go into this. So we had some pretty interesting action on the hourly. So we had this big drive here. So we're sitting at about 12.26 cents. So 12.6, what did I say? 12.65 cents. We got sold off by a count, with lots of coins. It's still got like 200,000 coins. Still relatively small account by any imagination, but still, to take a lot of money out of the pool. And then, of course, we saw a bounce back happen virtually immediately after that, not straight away, and then we bounced back up to 13.2 cents. So we went all the way from 11.6 all the way to 13.2. Then account, which is obviously watching the chart, decided to take their bags and sell down. So we got a bit of a sell down to 12.4, and we've just basically been floating around since then. But the real question is, what caused the green chart to rebound, right? Now, obviously, you can have bots and things like that. People can be watching the chart, but it was pretty interesting behavior, right? So let's go back into the chart and have a look at that. Let me bring up the old screen. I'm going to make it screen bigger in a minute, but 9 hours ago. So let's see. I want to see the action here that I'm trying to get to. Actually, where the... let me just go 5,000 here. Let me just 3. All right, so what you can see on the chart here, I don't know why they're not matching up those hours, but anyway, we got the chart here is we got this account called 977CD5, right? And this is the account here on Friend Cabal, right? And you can see it's got all these big buys coming in, right? And they just sort of happen all at the same time. And so what's happening is this accounts here. Let's go into the transaction history. You can see the value is $7 million. It's the bulk of it. $7 million. The bulk of it's in Sun Mini Mill. So just under $6.5 million in Sun mini meal. But the transactions from this account, you can see came in. And what happened here? So let me just scroll up here. So you can see on the 8th, this is the 8th, so we're on the 8th now. This is showing my timeline, I guess. And we've got airdrops from null address, right, USDC. So we talked about that theme about not just having DAI and ETH coming, but USDC is going to be a big theme coming onto the chain through all the bridges, particularly Ramp now. And we see USDC coming from null address in here, 8,600. Then we saw airdrop from null address, another 18,000. And then what do we see after that? So this is at 10 to 1 in the morning. I was up quite late. This is the way it goes. And then we have the swapped from USDC to DAI. So they obviously swapped some more into DAI. And then, of course, we come into this chart and we see that this got sold off here. And all the while this activity is happening in here. And, of course, then what do? They go and take all that DAI that got pushed into the account and swapped. So USDC that got pushed in the account and the DAI that they swapped for, and then they start buying some Sun mini meal, right? So $7,000 a time, and they're buying like 55,000 SOAR tokens. 1, 2, another 54,000, another 53,000, and it got us our green candle here, right? So it got us a green candle, pushed us all the way back to 13 after it got sold down. Now, normally, if we go out to a longer view, right, and you can see the buys in here, right, the buys in here, and they're countering these big sells basically as well. But here's the next thing, right? So this is these are the buys. But then what do they do? All the tokens they buy, what do? They burn them all. All right, they burn them all. And so this is basically looking like the Sun AG buy and burn. Now they're only doing it on test at the moment. This is supposed to be just a test because they're supposed to be handing over the mechanism to the foundation. But here we see that they are doing some buy and burns in the play. So that's pretty interesting. Now, if we pick up that account and just focus on that alone, you can see all the buys that have been coming in the last 3 days and 21 hours. And of course, they've been buying all this and they've been burning it all, right? Burning all these tokens they burn. So all this money's been burned. And it's just a tester at the moment, just a tester. Like I said to you, a minimum based on last year, it would be equivalent to like $17 million a year, which I think is a quarter of $a million a week. And this is just like $21,000. So it gives you a bit of a taster of what things are in store. And of course, we expect that net sales, 70 million, will get that 20% of net sales, which is about $70 million based on the 82 million euros or 92,000 US dollars, is going to be even bigger. And of course, we have those predictions in Strategy Club, so you can join up for that. All right, so that is kind of cool. That is some of the cool stuff. You can see the buy and burn. So let me just go full screen on this. You can see those buy and burns coming in. Look at coming in here. Pretty nice. We had that big sell-off and it came in here. So really good at supporting the chart. And what happens when it's not just supporting the chart, but actually pushing the chart up, right? That's the other thing, right? So this is the play there, pull up, and another buy there, and another buy there, right? So keeping the chart up quite nicely. We know that Wolfgang wanted to keep the price of SOAR Sun mini meal in between the 15 and 30 cent range. Currently, obviously, we're outside of that 12.3 cents. But of course, they didn't seem to have all the bigger news that we expected on the Austrian World Summit for some reason. So possibly because of administrative organizing things, I'm not quite sure. They were supposed to have a dinner at a special presentation at 2:00. I don't know what happened there. We have not seen anything from any press release that, as far as I know. But we do have something coming up in less than a day, which I believe will be Wolfgang, and he probably will be commenting on that. We shall see. So that's kind of cool. That is some of the stuff happening there. Now, when you look at the 4 hourlies, you can sort of see that play recently. I don't think this is the only account that's doing this. So I think they've got other tester accounts, but this one is definitely doing it as well. And of course, if we look at the daily, we can see that play there coming in with the buy and burn. So not bad at all. All right, so and that's since the World Summit. Funny enough, right? Since the World Summit, we've been getting this buying from this particular account. Pretty interesting, right? So games are afoot there. Now, what other projects kind of have this sort of thing? Well, not many, right? If any. Love has a little bit from their Luffy.com. I don't know what amount that is, but if the people buying, they have little bits shaved off here and there. But this is pretty major. This is off a big food corporate that's only just rising. So it could be pretty exciting. Anyway, so that is the play at the moment. So on Sun Signum, so that's a little bit of an insight into some of the things in SOAR. And of course, you want to get a lot more info with all the intel. Jump into the Strategy Club. Link is in the video description. But this is the rising corporate giant on PulseChain, and I think we're very lucky to have it. It's going to open up, obviously, a lot more on-ramps. We've got Ramp now opening up. We've got banks that probably will be online next week, hopefully, fingers crossed. And, of course, that's another major gateway. That's a team out of Australia. So there's a little bit of, between Germany or Austria, at least, and Australia, but it takes a bit longer to get things up and running. And then, of course, we're expecting a third on-ramp. We haven't heard much about that. And, of course, we're expecting in the third quarter of this year, a fourth on-ramp coming out from the Sun Mini Mail team. But I suspect that we're going to get a lot more different type of things like that from Wolfgang and the Sun AG team there. So I think that's going to be pretty huge. And, of course, we can't wait for institutional investment buying with the lifting of lifting of Ramp now up to 10,000 euros. It's a big deal. It means if you're like an investor with 100,000 euro, you don't have to be sitting around doing 100 transactions, right? You can then just do 10 transactions. That's a really big deal. So we could see this all on top, right? So we could see this address, the company buy and burn coming on. We could see the and burning tokens. We could see buying tens of thousands of dollars and then ramping up, and then we could see these big investors coming on buying $50,000, $100,000 lots. We could see all the retail people buying, all their customers buying, the new customers with the new dashboard and Sun wallet that the customers are going to have. And of course, they had 70,000 last year. They could be up to 150,000 now, and we're almost another 6 months in. And if they're growing at a similar rate that they did last year, between the first half and the second half, they grew by 435% approximately. So if they still got those growth rates, which no reason they haven't, because they're starting from such a low base and such a relatively small penetration in the network markets. They do a lot of promotion, like a lot of sponsorship and cars and sustainability stuff like that. But really, there's just starting to open up from the bottom, really, in terms of market reach. So it's going to be pretty exciting to see where it all goes. And obviously, all those things have to keep coming true and keep pushing forward. But we're pretty excited. And of course, they've got their second production line is pretty much close to finish. So we've posted a picture of that in the Strategy Club as well. So 12.36 cents. We'll see where it goes. Now, obviously, a lot of people have got free coins, so a lot of people with pretty good value portfolios in there. I call it the kryptonite or the Achilles heel. Is that there are a lot of holders there that had the token, and of course from their old rewards program, they're moving on to rewards 2.0 for new customers, which they'll get cashbacks and things, but they'll have to buy these coins off the market if they want to get more. So it bodes well. So that is kind of where we are on that. How we're doing? I think we're doing pretty well. 1 hour. We're probably going to wrap up there. I think that's good play there. So what have we talked about? We talked about some of the top coins at the moment, which have been doing pretty well. We've talked about the ones that aren't so hot at the moment. Now they may be hot tomorrow. It's just not hot today. But as we said, SolidX is probably a pretty good pick out of that, given that staking and X game could be launching anytime. So it could be pretty fun. All right. On that note, let's see if we've got any more final comments. Big thank you once again to Blockhead for his super sticker there. Big shout out there. And our token. What else there? And a big shout out to everybody else in the chat today. And then, we had Tyndall coming at the end there. Big shout out. All right. On that note, let's play some Pump Minerals on the way out. Hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your weekend. I'll catch you again on the live stream tomorrow. And, of course, what's coming out tomorrow? The Monster Thread. The Monster Thread weekly update is coming out tomorrow for all the latest news over the last week. You get all the alpha in one place. And, of course, Editor-in-Chief MVS Crypto, our promotional lead at the Crypto Night Show, is doing the final touches, putting the little magic sprinkles. And, of course, that will be out tomorrow. So look forward to that. We'll probably cover it on the channel here tomorrow. You get all the latest and greatest. We've got more coming, of course, from the Crypto Night Show. Stay tuned. We've got some pretty cool things in the pipeline there. Now, if you're also a team out there and you're looking for some promotional support, as you guys know, the Crypto Night Show has the first professional promotional team out there as well. So if you want to hit us up, hit me up or MVS Crypto, and we can help you with that. So if you want some promotional support to get your project out, you can have the greatest idea in the world, but if people aren't seeing it, crickets. Have I got crickets on here? I don't know if I got crickets. I don't know. Have we got anything else? Nothing else here. The crowd goes wild though. Nita in house. Hey, Nita. Pop. Hope you're doing well, Nita. And a Black Diamond, the NFT. Yeah, it was 11.55 too. 11.55. the first out there. All right, take care, everybody. I'll catch you on tomorrow's show. Until then, enjoy the Pumpermentals from Richard Hart, God Mode Candle. I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll catch you guys.
You know, you could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment because it's easier to get them, because it takes less economic energy, because there's less of it for sale.